I was trained as a Western physician at one of the finest, considered one of the finest schools in the world, University of California, San Francisco. So I've been through the mill with orthodox medicine. And, you know, when we get out of medical school, we think, oh, well, there's a knee over there. Go check that knee. You know, it's not a patient, it's a knee. Or there's a retinitis pigmentosa over there, or something similar. So we came to, I'm not going to say it's dehumanizing, but we came to look at things as a condition. And in orthodox medicine, you have a nephrologist for kidneys, you have an ophthalmologist for eyes, you have a cardiologist for the heart, you have a gastroenterologist for the guts. Well, wait a minute. Aren't all these things connected somewhere? Who is looking at what is governing the whole shebang? Because the heart is involved with the kidney, and the kidney's involved with the gut, and the gut's involved with the brain, etc. All are dependent upon each other. Yet you go to one guy who totally excludes everything else, and you got to go to the next specialist, which totally drives up your cost. Are any of you feeling the pinch of the cost of health care? Well, I'm not going to say that his services are inexpensive or my services are inexpensive, but you got to take a look at relatively what you get when you go to someone. Then what is the real underlying, how do you really approach the thing? Well, you got to take a look at what the underlying factors of illness are, and it's not a deficiency of a chemical. It is, do all of you believe in some higher power? I do, so I'm going to be biased here. I don't believe that God created us with any deficiency of any synthetic man-made chemical, because these were not on the planet prior to the last 80 years. We were made with a need for what God made, or for what nature made. And if we don't have that, we need that for maintenance and repair of our body. And if we don't have that, then our bodies will decay much faster, and it can't get better. What is the ultimate healer for infection that has no risk? It's your immune system. So preservation of the immune system is critical. And when I said with the possible exception of antibiotics, antibiotics don't necessarily cure infection either. If you don't have an immune system, like in AIDS, you don't cure the infection. All antibiotics do is assist a weakened immune system to deal with the infection. So what are the fundamental causes of problems? Well, three major ones: nutrition or malnutrition, toxins, and stress. And that affects every organ in the body. So when you go to the heart doctor or the hormone doctor with your diabetes or your hypertension or your heart disease, the doctor's going to say, okay, here's your diagnosis, here's your symptom, it's blood pressure or high blood sugar or angina, and give you some chemical to suppress it. Meanwhile, the underlying cause of the problem is still there. And even the American Heart Association wasn't cooperating for a long time, because for years they told people to eat margarine because they were worried about the cholesterol, and God made butter. And only recently they're telling you not to eat fried foods. So the first place I start with anybody is with diet. And the education is real, the lesson is real simple, in my opinion. And again, all of this is my opinion, so take it for whatever you think it's worth. If God didn't make it, don't eat it. Can I be any more simple than that? Think about it. If God didn't make it, don't eat it. Now, Ed pulled out some carrots from his garden this morning, and I'm comfortable in saying God made that, or nature made it, because it came out on its own wisdom. Well, what about white bread? Does white bread come out of the ground? Does Coca-Cola come running down the mountain streams here the few time it rains? No. What the heck are we doing? I'll tell you that the amount of sugar... How many of you still drink soft drinks? Don't be shy, raise your hand. Thank you for being honest. My last soft drink was about 1984. Now, you're talking to somebody who's been consistent for a long period of time. The amount of sugar in one soft drink is enough to knock out the ability of your white blood cells to eat bacteria by over 50%. And the effect lasts up to 8 hours. One soft drink. Just the sugar. And that's not to say what could be worse in the artificial sweeteners, which are far worse than sugar. Aspartame in particular, which has formaldehyde in it, which is wonderful for your eyes. How many of you have drank diet drinks? Thank you for your honesty. All right. Well, it doesn't have formaldehyde, it has methanol, excuse me. It's methanol. 10% of aspartame is methanol. So when your body breaks it down, it gets methanol, which gets converted to formaldehyde. And methanol, that's how methanol kills the eye. Is that right?
Yeah, methanol is very toxic to the optic nerve. In fact, if you drink methanol, you will go blind almost immediately.
Yes. So here's a nice way that we're gradually... I mean, it's great for the industry. The industry, see, to me, there's some entity up here that runs the pharmaceuticals, the government, the insurance, etc., and it's a puppeteer. And I don't mean to get political with you, but just I'm trying to let you connect some dots. So if they feed you poison, it helps their so-called health industry over here, so they can give you more chemicals to suppress the symptoms and diseases that they're giving you from their food industry. And then they have an insurance industry and a government over here that gets bigger and bigger to take more out of your wallet to make you think they're doing something for you. So the natural doc will, at least in my case, the first place I go is diet. And I'll just share with you a little bit about how I eat. And I don't want to impose it on anybody. Take it for how it fits you. And well, I lived in Alaska till 2000. I came down here in 2001 to California when I married my wife. In Alaska, I was still eating fish and eggs. And very, very, very rarely chicken. Hadn't eaten meat since 1984. And Alaska is not California or Arizona. It wasn't easy to get the freshest stuff, but I always went out of my way to do it. And I ate mostly vegetables with maybe the fish that I caught once a week or so. And I did like eggs. And when I came down here, just for spiritual reasons, I gave up fish and eggs. And I'm just talking for me now, just for spiritual reasons. And right now I am an organic raw food vegetarian. Am I 100% raw? No. I'm 100% vegetarian except for small amounts of dairy. Now, I said I don't impose this on anybody because that's my spiritual feeling. But now let's go to the medical side. There is a book called The China Study. And the China Study absolutely shows scientifically that any amount of animal protein increases your all-cause morbidity, which is injury, and mortality, which is death. So there's science behind this. So the China Study strongly suggests that the more vegetable material you eat, the better you're going to be. What about, somebody say, raw food? Well, how does God make the food? I don't see any stoves out or microwave ovens out in nature.